Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 8 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, January 23rd. So, looking back at yesterday's action real quick, uh, basically we had that push up, and then, basically it was one time frame up, one time frame down, with the peak right at 10 minutes after 12 a.m. East or 12 p.m. Eastern time. So 10 minutes after 12 was the high of the day yesterday, and then that was for the Nasdaq and the ES, and then later on we had another high of the day only for the Dow, and when that come back, that was what led to the last little blurb down into the close. So basically, we have been on a nice little run, and this is just a, basically consolidation on the highs, right? This is what balance looks like. We had a beautiful profile yesterday, uh, and then I should have posted that in the room. My apologies. Let's throw that out real quick. So the bell to bell profile is the gray, the overnight is the blue from yesterday's session. You can see, what almost a perfect distribution that was. And, we closed at the lower end of it, but that really is, not that important. So 530 was the big marker for the Qs yesterday. We pushed back up through that, and then probably right around noon the person that owned those started just periodically liquidating those, and as they liquidated those, taking their money back out of the market, then the market makers just had to sell futures. Nothing going there. And to note, and I should have pointed this out in the room and I didn't. um, the cash market yesterday, and again at these boxes that are at the top up here. Again, this is the live ETF price and then the live cash price next to it for each of the three indexes: the Nasdaq, the ES, or the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, and the Dow. So we topped out basically exactly at 6,100 on the cash yesterday. And then, there's a lot of options that were there and they just rejected that price. So there was another, top. And those big $100 markers, you do have to be aware of where they are, and, above or below for the cash. That's uh, where the big institutions don't play with futures. The big institutions don't play with a bunch of other crap. The big institutions just play in the options on the cash market, and that's it. You get market makers use futures, and then you get some other you know different strategies that play futures. But for major institutions, it's all the SPX cash options. So as we look back at what that did to the profile, was pretty much, non. No, not too many anomalies yesterday. So we have a little bit of a split here on the Russell, and we have excess in A. So basically, if the NASDAQ gets back up above uh, 21,975, let's call it, that gets back into where the real part of yesterday's distribution was. So from 975 up to 2255, let's call it. So you've got that 80-point range. That's where the majority of all yesterday's bell action took place. So let's get into it. Another thing to note is, we had an untested point of control going back to the FOMC day of uh, December 18th, right? That was at 61.36. The high of yesterday was one tick below that at 61.35.75. So just bumping up against that, and you're getting close to the all-time high. You can see there's not a lot of action that was above that, and there's just going to be anyone who bought this run up. they're just going to be taking profit. That's just a fact of life. If they just put it on for a trade, and that was the place to take it off. So we also got up to we're on that look above the balance again, and that look above balance is at 21,000. Let's just call it 900. We're right there right now. So this is either going to be a look above and fail, and we're going to probably come back down in towards uh, 21,580, or we're just going to consolidate in a very narrow range at 2275. The title of my video today is President Trump live at the World Economic Forum at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. He's going to be speaking. I have no doubt that we will see, or could possibly see, and I'll be expecting it, some enhanced volatility while he's on an open mic, right? There's no reason to think otherwise. I might even just flatten before 11 o'clock and wait until after he's done talking to re-engage the market. Uh, I It could just be a vault. This is going to be his real first uh, global press conference, and whatever he wants to say. And to be honest with you, I probably just want to see how this goes to gauge, the next time he's on an open mic, uh, to see how it goes. So I'm probably going to be flat for the duration of his live commentary. And then looking at the ES in a similar fashion, we got right back up into that, 3 week distribution that was in that 50 points yesterday. That's between 61.10 and 61.65, with the majority of that action coming between 61.52 to 61.20. So we topped out again at just under the midpoint of that line yesterday. Overnight actions only 18.5 points. Keep in mind we're in positive gamma now, so volatility should be dampened, but I hesitate to say that with a fresh VIX and President Trump being live today. Uh, I don't. I'm not going to count on it. I'm not going to be expecting huge moves either, but I'm not going to be complacent in my trade management, thinking that these retrace, like, I'm not going to be expecting that we're only going to have a 220 point NQ session today, or only a 55 point ES range today. That's not going to be my complacency until proven otherwise, especially this early in the administration. So again, I think that for me, the top of what I'm looking to trade is going to be about 75 points up today, until it's proven that we can get above 21,975, and then then I would take it in steps. You got the gap fill at 22,000, then you got the point of control at 22,020, and then you got the value area high at 2256. For some reason, if we get the VIX really dropping and we start one time framing seriously higher, this block distribution is your next major target to the upside, and it will trade at some point in the future. When it is, we'll just have to wait and see. But 22,134 to 22,211 is what you're looking at. And then for the ES, again, that yesterday's high is probably going to be a wall for a while. Uh, and we'll just have to see if it can breach it. It's definitely a major support resistance line there, and this is going to eke down at least 3 ticks every day, this line. So yesterday it was at probably around 31.35 is where that's going to line up today on the futures. And a lot of times on Thursday they start taking out the weekend uh, cost to carry. So we could drop 2 points today. I'll throw that out when I update the overnight 8 grid. I hope this helps. Again, you really need to mind your P's and Q's while President Trump is on an open mic, in my opinion. Again, I'm just going to sit on my hands and wait and see how it shakes out. I'm not going to get enticed to trade. I might even just walk away from the desk while he's on and just listen to it in another room until he gets off, and then come back and look and see what happened. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see what Jack's looking at, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.